This measure that comes from the House of Representatives, I can't do better than what the senior senator from Arizona said. How could we send 8 of our senators to Ukraine and say, yeah, we decided to do something, but we're not going to do anything to suggest in any way that what Russia has done is wrong. There is not a sanction that would cause anything to happen with what the House has done. I can't imagine how anyone in good conscience, after what has gone on since the last few days, how anyone could agree to do something. Our great country is going to go to Ukraine and tell them that we have passed something that helps you, although we don't condemn Russia in any fashion in the resolution. We're being asked to agree to that? I don't think so, Madam President.
The senator from Wyoming came down and wants us to take up and pass a bill passed by the House of Representatives which has not a single binding sanction in it. Not one binding sanction in it. Not one strong message to the people of Ukraine that we're supporting them.
What we're trying to do is to push Russia back. And as the leader mentioned, this bill has tough sanctions.
The majority leader has asked that we move and pass this legislation, which was considered in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, was open for amendment. Several amendments were adopted, several were rejected, and by a vote of 14-3, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee reported out this bill. Why should we care about this legislation?
This is a strong piece of legislation. It deals both with giving Ukraine a bridge to the future while they're dealing with economic issues internally. It deals with sanctions to isolate Russia, the thing that we all know needs to happen to keep them from continuing this activity. And it puts in place the reforms that our country has already agreed to, that Congress has not taken action on, that makes the IMF more fully able to deal with this issue, which is a poster child for why you would want the IMF to operate in a responsible and strong manner. So I support this legislation strongly.
I've watched in the last few months 2 fool's errands. One was when we shut down the government. We were all so proud. We shut down the government, turned away 600,000 people from our national parks, took $27 million out of the economy of my state on a fool's errand that was not going to succeed. Now we see another fool's errand because the majority leader will file cloture. There will be well over 60 votes, and 10 or 11 or how many days from now, we will pass it, and these sanctions will be enacted. In the meantime, the first message to the people of Ukraine who have Russians in the view of the Ukrainian president ready to invade, we're telling him no, because we don't agree with an IMF fix, or we think the money may be or may not be coming out of defense.
I want to say first to the leader, we certainly have had some discussions regarding operations on the Senate floor and the speed with which we deal with things and the amount of debate, but I want to thank him for trying to bring this issue to a vote today. I want to thank him for what he's going to do in a moment, and that is to file cloture on this piece of legislation that passed out of our committee with strong bipartisan support, so that immediately when we get back, we'll take it up.
I've been embarrassed before on the floor of the Senate, I will tell the president, but I haven't been embarrassed this way about members of my own party. One of the most proudest aspects I've always felt of our Republican Party and the leadership of Ronald Reagan and others is we stood up for people. We stood up for people when the Iron Curtain was there. We stood up for Nathan Sharansky. We said, tear down this wall. Now we've got a guy who is trying to reinstate the old Russian Empire, which he has said himself, and what are we saying? No. A shameful day.